Hey everybody, it's Kim, and we're back with another episode of Empower. And today we're going to be talking about well, not the two sides, but two sides of the Supposta syndrome. And I'm only going to talk about two sides. There are more, but these are the more predominant manifestations of the Supposta. You know how there's a plan in your mind, or even a plan that your parents had for you, or um, your guidance counselor in high school, or whoever had this idea of who you were supposed to be, what you were supposed to do in your life. And it was mapped out in your mind, and you were going to do X, Y, Z, and you were going to go here, do this, do that. And you had this plan, and it was supposed to happen. I know I'm not saying supposed to, on purpose. It was supposed to happen because this is what I thought. This is what I wanted. This is how I saw my life being. This is what I was working towards, even, and was expecting to see come to fruition. And you may look up 20 years later, 30 years later, 50 years later, and you look back and say, this wasn't supposed to happen. This is not how this was supposed to go. This was supposed to be different. Now, there's a couple ways to look at that. The first one I want to talk about is you can't do everything in your life for other people. It's not okay. Um, 9 times out of 10, if you do it for someone else, it won't last, or you'll be so unhappy, and all of the gifts and talents and skills that could have really been thriving in the area that you actually wanted to go, the world will miss out on. I'll give you a personal example. I was in high school. I did very well in school all of my life. I love school to this day. Um, I'll research something now just to research it because that's who I am. And so learning is, I love it. When I was young, I used to read the encyclopedia and the dictionary just for things to read, because my parents were tired of buying me books. And it was costly to buy me a book every time I finished one because I would probably finish one in less than an hour. And so I started reading and just reading voraciously. I just wanted to know. There's so much that I didn't know about the world, and it was intriguing to me, so I just kept doing it. And my dad decided, in high school, you apply to college, you can get waitlisted a little while, or you can apply early decision, so that you know these types of things where you're going to end up. And so in the meantime, for me, my dad was like, you need to do something. And the thing to do right now is computer networking. Like, it was a big deal at the time. Like, so many companies and things were looking for people who were certified C plus and C plus plus and A, all these things. And I knew I had absolutely no interest, desire, skill set, other than just being able to follow directions um, for this thing. But he was like, it's a skill. My family calls me Nikki, for those of you who don't know. It's a skill that you'll never regret, Nikki. You need to go get it. You need to go do it. You need. And so, me being the rule follower and the person that I was like, okay, Dad. While I'm waiting, um, I'm going to go ahead and go. I went, did well in class. Do you think I ever worked that job? Ever applied for? No, I will tell you, I did not. Why? Because it didn't feed me. It wasn't anything that I wanted to do. I did not, I'm a social person. So sitting in a room with computers and trying to make them work, that was not It's not the least bit intriguing to me, interesting to me. So I I did it. I went to school, got certifications, finished, and all that, and did nothing with it. It was a waste of my time because I knew before I started it that it was not, it wasn't going to pan. I wasn't going to be able to do it for any extended period of time in my life. Turned out I wasn't able to do it at all because I it bored me to tears. I'm thankful for all of the networkers and people who work on computers now, but it was not, is not, will never be my zhuzh. It was not my thing. So it's important to know who you are and be so tuned in to what you know will work and what fits you so that you're not looking up 40 years from now saying, that wasn't supposed to happen like that. Why did I allow myself to get sidetracked by what someone else thought? And it wasn't that my dad was trying to, knowing that I would be a failure at it or anything like that. In his mind, it was the best idea for me. So, and it this is why it's so important. And I was talking to the girls in our church youth group. It's so important that that you know what you're good at, that you don't shy away from the fact that I'm actually good at this, that you don't back up and be like, well, no, don't give me too much because I don't want too much credit or too much attention for being good at. No, if you're good at something, own that, right? And so when you know what you're good at, when you know what's important, when you know what interests you and what invigorates you and how you feel when you do it, stick to that because trying to meet someone else's expectations is almost certainly an internal death because you're not doing what you want to do. You're not doing what excites you. You're not doing what you're best at. Motivation and discipline comes easier when it's something that you want to do. My grandmother used to say all the time, people gonna do what they want to do. And it's true. What I really want to do is what's going to come out. What I really want to do, either if I'm not doing it, I'm half-heartedly doing everything else. So that's the first side of Supposta that I want to talk about. The second side is kind of not that popular. And but I'm just going to share it with you because I believe it can help some people and at least open your mind to a different perspective. Um, there's a myth that you're right where you're supposed to be. That ain't always true. Can we talk about it? Sometimes we're supposed to be way farther along. We're supposed to have been successful. We're supposed to have owned a couple of companies. We're supposed to be a mogul by now. We're supposed to be that professor that is changing children's lives and young adults' lives because of the passion that they have for the subject. We're supposed to be the best makeup artist or the best chef. We're supposed to be that already. But because we followed someone else's expectations of us or procrastinated and allowed fear and doubt and uncertainty um, get in our way, we're not where we're supposed to be. It disturbs me when that is the answer, when we know that that's not true. We talked about, I think it was the last upload, was self-limiting behaviors. When I limit myself, I'm not going to be where I'm supposed to be. I'm not, because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing to get there. Let's take a biblical example. It was God's promise to the children of Israel that they would be in Canaan. That was what was supposed to happen. They decided that they were going to listen to the 10 spies and not Joshua and Caleb and not go in and then wander around the desert for 40 years and all of them die, except those two and Moses. That was their choice, but they were supposed to have been in Canaan already, living in the promised land. How many of us have decided that we were going to lose weight every year? We're supposed to be healthy by now. We're supposed to have written a book. We're supposed to have, yeah, things happen and we can have some setbacks, but then we sometimes allow these setbacks to turn into stops along the way. So while, yes, sometimes you may be right where you're supposed to be, but those times are few and far in between. My old pastor used to say, God don't need a good time to bless you and bad time to curse you. It don't have to be famine or feast. Pick what you're going to do and do it. And don't allow this thing about I'm right where I'm supposed to be because if this hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't be. No, no, I don't believe that. Now, what I do believe is in scripture, it tells us that God will make all things work for the good for them that love him and are called according to his purpose. So I do believe that whatever I get myself into by either procrastinating or making terrible decisions, P.S., it's only a mistake the first time. The second time, we tend to make a calculated decision, even by not choosing. That's a choice in itself. We may do another episode about that. Put a pin right there. But doing doing what I know to do will get me where I'm supposed to get. So while bad decisions are a part of our learning, yes, and some of us it takes us a couple of times running into the brick wall before we get it. I want us to evaluate that narrative of if it hadn't happened, I wouldn't be where I'm supposed to be. And I'm right where I'm supposed to be right now. Are you though? Did you do everything you could? And this is where you stop? Now, if you've done everything you could and you have given it your all 100%, and this is where you are, then I can say, well, this must be where you're supposed to be right now. But just because things happen and life happened and you allowed yourself to wallow or to slow down or to question yourself, and all of those things are normal. Please don't think that I'm trying to badger anyone or put anyone down because clearly we have these talks because these are things that I am dealing with and am going through and working through. So it's not that I don't get the procrastination and the hesitance and the, well, I'm not sure. Of course, I understand it. That doesn't excuse me, and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. That's not a fact of life, not of my life, and more than likely not of yours. We have allowed things to stop us. We have stopped in anticipation of something coming along and stopping us. These are facts. This is what human nature, this is what we do. But it doesn't have to be how we stay. So don't get stuck on, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, it's taking a long time because I only spend 5 minutes every 2 months on it, but I'm where I'm supposed to be. No, you're not. It's time to take a good hard look at ourselves and see what it is that we're doing to keep us from being where we're actually supposed to be. So I just wanted to share that little bit with y'all today and just to provoke your mind a little bit. Am I really where I'm supposed to be? What am I doing that is getting me to where I'm supposed to be? Are my goals too ambitious? Am I thinking, okay, I need to do this in a month and a half, and it's actually a 6 month process? So do I set unrealistic goals and then when I don't achieve them, I stop because I'm like, well, see, I couldn't even do it in this time frame. Is it that? Is it that I don't believe in myself? Is it that other people don't believe in me and that's important to me? What is it that's causing you not to be where you're supposed to be? Figure that out, do the work, and get where you're supposed to be. Let's have a conversation about it. Let me know in the comments what you think, how you feel, if you agree with me, if you disagree. I'm open to dialogue. I appreciate different points of view. So if you agree or don't agree, what you can do is share. What you can do is come on over to Empower 540 on Instagram and follow me. And go on my YouTube page and subscribe. Those are things you can do. And share with a friend the video and have a discussion with those that are around you. It's good to discuss things and have dialogue and have the conversation of, hey, are you where you supposed to be? Is that a thing for you? So that's all I have for today. Well, that's all I'm going to share about this for today. And I will see y'all next time. Thanks.